The Honourable Lover. It's reported from Al-Asma'i that he said, I entered the city of Basra, intending to visit the locality of Banu Sa'd. At the time, the governor of Basra was Khalid bin Abdullah. I entered his court and found a group of people holding a young handsome man who was of sublime character and etiquette, beautiful face, smelling of exquisite perfumes, smartly dressed with a distinct awe and calmness about him. They presented him to Khalid. He asked about his case. They replied, This is a thief who we caught last night red-handed at our residence. He looked at him and was astonished at his remarkable appearance and cleanliness. He said, Let him go. He then brought him closer and asked him of what happened. The young man replied, It's exactly as they say, and the matter is as they claim. Khalid said, What made you do it, despite your smart appearance and good looks? He said, Worldly evil made me do it, and that's what was decreed by Almighty Allah. He responded, May your mother cry over your death. Wasn't your beauty, intellect, and good manners enough of a deterrent for you to steal? He said, Please leave that, O Governor. Carry out what Allah has instructed you to do. It's what my hands have earned, and Allah is not oppressive to His subjects. Khalid went silent for a moment, thinking hard about the young man's case. Then he brought him close to himself and said, You confessing in front of everyone has put me in doubt. I don't believe you're a thief. Tell me your real story. He said, Respected Governor, my confession is all you need to believe. I have no other story to give you besides the fact that I entered their home and stole wealth from it. They caught me, took it off me, and brought me to you. So Khalid imprisoned him. He also instructed an announcement to be made in the city of Basra. Whoever wants to see the punishment of so-and-so, the thief, with a severing of his hand, then let them attend tomorrow morning. When the young man was imprisoned and the chains were tied to his feet, he took a deep sigh and began to recite poetry. Khalid threatened to cut my hand if I don't disclose to him my story. So I said, I can never confess the love my heart holds for her. Cutting off my hand is lighter to my heart than exposing her love. The prison guards heard him say this and came to Khalid to report it. When nightfall came, Khalid summoned him. He made him talk and found him very articulate, intelligent, and well-mannered. He became very impressed by him. He asked for food, and so they both ate and talked for a long time. Khalid then said, I know that you have another story other than theft. Tomorrow, when the people and judges attend and ask you about theft, deny it, and mention doubts so that the cutting is dropped. He then sent him back to his prison cell. When morning came, everyone in the city of Basra attended to see the punishment of the young man. Khalid came riding with other important figures of Basra. He summoned the judges and called for the young man to be brought forward. He approached walking in shackles. All the women began to cry until the sound of crying became overwhelming. The people were commanded to be quiet. Then Khalid said to him, These people claim that you entered their home and stole their property. What do you have to say? He replied, They have spoken the truth, O Governor. I entered their home and stole their property. Khalid quickly commented, Maybe you stole something insignificant. He said, No, I stole something that mandates the penalty. Khalid said, Maybe you stole something that wasn't kept safe. He said, No, it was kept safe. Khalid, trying to find excuses for him, said, Maybe you have part ownership of the item. He replied, No, I don't. It all belongs to them. I have no right over it. Khalid became enraged and stood up to him and struck his face with his whip. He then called for the executioner to cut off his hand. The executioner came, took out a large blade and stretched out the young man's arm. As soon as he placed the blade over his arm to cut it, a young woman quickly appeared out of the crowd of women, covered in marks and dirt, screaming, and threw herself on the young man. She removed her veil from a face that was as beautiful as the full moon. There was an uproar from the crowd. She screamed at the top of her voice and threw an envelope at Khalid. He took it, opened it, and found a poem written. "O Khalid, this is a man madly in love. My glances struck him from the bows of eyelids. Thus he fell prey to the arrow of my looks. As a result, his heart is suffering the pains of love without recovery. He confessed to something he didn't commit because he believed this is better than exposing a lover. So will you not have mercy on a sad lover? For surely he has noble traits in love and is not a thief." When he read the couplets, he went to one side and called for the woman, asking her about the story. She told him that the young man was in love with her, and so is she. The story is that he intended to visit her and tell her of his location. So he threw a stone at her home. Her father and brothers heard the sound of the stone and went up to see her. He quickly gathered some clothes from the house and made them into a bag. They grabbed him and said, "This is a thief," and brought him to you. Thus he confessed to the crime and found it easier to face the penalty in order to conceal me. All of this is due to his incredible honor and good character. Khalid replied, "Indeed he deserves this," and summoned the young man. He kissed his forehead and called for the woman's father to come. He said to him, "Sir, we intended to execute the decision of cutting this young man's hand. However, Allah saved him from that. I've intended for him to be given 10,000 silver coins for his determination to have his hand severed whilst protecting your honor and the honor of your daughter. I have also ordered that your daughter be given 10,000 silver coins, and I request that you allow me to marry them both off to each other." The father responded, "O governor, I have given my consent."